Hello, people. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. Actually, I have an article here from the Miami Herald. So actually has to do with housing and rent. Um, it says here the heading: you spend more than half of your income on rent, you're not alone. Um, if you are one of the 789,000 Florida families that spend more than half of your income on rent, you know firsthand about the affordable housing crunch in the United States. About 11.4 million U.S. residents currently spend more than half their salaries on rent and utilities, and that number is predicted to hit 15 million by 2025. Facing increased demand by people who can't afford to buy, 37% of U.S. families are renters. The inventory of rental units is shrinking and driving up prices also. Also says more than 51% of the country's families spend more than 30% on their gross income on rent, and the situation is worse among low and middle income families. We also have many residents who depend on fixed incomes or Social Security on that list and can't even afford their rent. Ned Murray, Associate Director of the Metropolitan Center at Florida International University, and George Damian La Paz, Program Manager at the University of Miami Office of Civic and Community Engagement. The high rents make it harder for families to save for emergencies, and they end up spending less on healthcare and education. The two academics also noted the instability of the children's lives when their families have to move because they cannot afford the rent, and the stress that it creates even within the school environment. So you see how there's kind of a connection between that and even maybe some of these mass shootings, having an unequal society, income inequality, stagnant wages. Anyway, it also goes on to say another panel focused on the nonprofit organizations that assist the homeless, veterans, and at-risk youth. So that would be some of the solutions. Barbara Ibarra, director of Miami Homes for All, said her group seeks to move away from temporary shelters and towards more permanent housing solutions. What's important is to put a person to live in an apartment no matter what the circumstances. Well, yeah, duh. I mean, but shouldn't we be putting people in houses too? Not just apartments. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that, prefer to rent over buying a home or a mortgage. But, I mean, if you work or if you're disabled, you should be able to afford your own home. That's where it all comes to living wage. You have to vote for progressive candidates based on platform. Or the Green Party, candidates, no more neoliberalism, neoconservatism. Obama was kind of, obviously, a lot of people know, he did some good things and did some bad things. The good things he did, internet neutrality, obviously, is a good thing. Bailing out the auto industry with, Chrysler and GM. And then, of course, I'm a little bit neutral on the bank bailouts part of it, because even if they are bailed out the banks too, but they didn't force them to downsize or fire any of the CEOs that were getting out of line, like FDR actually did that when he was president. So he fired bankers regularly, on a regular basis. So, but it's telling, definitely about wages. In these other countries, they have universal basic income. They have short, long-term disability pensions, like Germany and things like that. If you become disabled, that you can at least survive somehow until your case comes up for review. I'm in the middle of a disability case myself, so it's been like 3 years. I have like horrible nerve damage in my legs and arms and back. So I mean, I know what these people go through, but that's a totally different subject, I know, but just I thought this was a very interesting article from Miami Herald. It is a pretty good source. Anyway, you know, like I said, got to vote based on platform. So somebody that's actually going to help you make your own life situation better. No more of these fake rinky-dink, you know, neoliberal, neoconservative politicians. They aren't doing anything. It's very telling. So, I mean, this should at least have $15 an hour or more minimum wage, and definitely in metro areas. Even if that's on a sliding scale, it probably would be doable too. You know, based on like say population density or something like along those lines. But it's a very good article, actually. I appreciate the viewers. If you like it, thumb it up. Don't forget to hit the bell. So if I do upload another video, that you'll be notified. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm doing this kind of in my spare time. Like I said, I have my own share of problems, but I like to be a part of this, hopefully a progressive wave in this country. Another FDR reincarnated. So I hope Bernie runs again 2020, but if he doesn't, you know, maybe Ro Khanna or somebody, or it's got a similar platform. Anyway, if you like it, subscribe. I appreciate the viewership. Ladies, gents, have a terrific evening. Hasta la vista.